Hi travelers, it's Tara from Hidden Lotus Tarot, and we are about to start the general reading for the zodiac sign of Libra for the month of September 2015. Now, if this message does not resonate with you, I want you to check back as I load the videos up to check your moon sign and rising sign. If you don't know your moon and rising sign, what you will need for that information is your date of birth, your month, day, and year, the location where you were born, the city and state, and the country, and you will need your exact time of birth. If you have that information, there are some free moon and rising sign calculators out there where you just plug that information in and it will tell you. So again, if it doesn't resonate with you, this particular reading, go ahead and check back as I load the videos up, and there may be a message for you under your moon and rising sign. I've already pre-shuffled the cards. I was doing the reading for Virgo, and a storm came up and it got super dark, which was kind of creepy because the last card I pulled out was the devil. But the storm's over now, and so we're going to get started. So here we go. Card just fell out. Okay, show me the energies for the sign of the Libra people for September 2015. What are the energies for the sign of Libra, September 2015? What are the energies for the sign of Libra, September 2015? Okay. Show me Libra for September 2015. Let me cut the cards, and we're going to get right into the reading. I'm going to go ahead and keep that card. We're going to see what it's all about. I'm going to try this deck. That one had a little energy pull on it. Let's see what fell out. So been working hard or feeling burdened, perhaps. The Ten of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune crossing you, the Three of Coins beneath you, the Two of Wands in the near past, the Page of Cups crowning the reading, the Hanged Man in the near future, Justice in the Self position, the Knight of Pentacles in the environment, the Three of Swords in the hopes and fears, and crowning the outcome, the Magician, which is always a beautiful card. I love to see when the Magician comes out. And underneath, the Two of Cups. So this isn't all bad. All right, let me take a look at what the cards are saying to me. See if I can get a handle on any messages coming through. Okay, the center of the reading, we have, like I said, the Ten of Wands. Now, this is a card about feeling burdened. Perhaps you've taken on more responsibility than you can handle or effectively deal with. Perhaps you are having issues with delegating some things. This card it's a fire sign, a wands. So I would take it to mean that this is something having to do perhaps with work or the way you've been getting things done. It could be, your work to do with your actual career, or it could be work that you're trying to do in your personal life, say around the house, or familial duties or something like that. So maybe you're feeling a little taxed right now, like, it's never going to end. The thing about this card, though, is if you see, the guy is actually carrying the wands in front of him. not behind him. They're not like a burden on his back. It's just simply like he can't see his way forward right now. And in a way, I think maybe it does have something to do with home life. It could very well for some Libras, because there's the house way there in the distance. He's just trying to get to his destination. I think that you have been feeling as if things aren't going to work out. This is the Wheel of Fortune, and it is crossing you. The thing you need to know about the Wheel of Fortune, though, is whatever, you've heard that saying, what goes up must come down. So if you've been in a down cycle now, and that's probably why it's crossing you, you obviously feel like perhaps maybe you can't do anymore, and you want to know when a break is coming. When this card presents itself, the Wheel of Fortune, that's forces beyond your control right now. You've not been able to make any progress, or you feel you've been unable to make any progress. That's why it's crossing you. This is what your obstacle is. But just rest assured that once this card comes through, and this is a 10, so it means you're at the end of the cycle, that this is about to change. So your luck is about to change. Underwriting the reading is the 3 of Coins. So it's obviously something that perhaps maybe you stepped up and volunteered for. And if you've ever been in the military, you know you never volunteer for anything. I was in the military, so and perhaps you have a lot of people looking up to you as a leader to do the job or what have you. It could even have to do with studies. Perhaps you have taken on going back to college, and maybe all of the other duties that you have if you're working and you have kids or a family life, what have you, in addition to going back to school, trying to upgrade your skill set. Perhaps it's made you feel a bit weary and a bit tired. But, like I said, rest assured, a break is coming. Now, in the near past position, there was some decision or something that you've been looking out for over the horizon. And maybe you've been seeking a way out of this, whatever this is that's making you feel overwhelmed and burdened. But it was a decision, I think, that you made with good intentions, and perhaps it just kind of got away from you. I see that you already had this one thing that was pretty stable in your life, but now you were trying to figure out if you made this decision, or when you made this decision, what you were going to do with this other thing. I think whatever this thing is that's going on with you that's making you feel overtaxed and overburdened, it is going to give you some type of liberation, because this guy's holding the world, okay? So just kind of hang in there. Crowning the reading at the top is the Page of Wands. Now, I'm not really reading this as a love reading, but I could. I'm going to take it in the context of a career. Whatever this, if you've gone back to school, update, like I said, to upgrade your skill set, this is going to bode very, very well for you. I think it's going to make you love what you do even more, because love can come in many, many forms. I think it's been rather surprising, perhaps, the difficulty or the degree of difficulty that you've had or you've encountered on this particular journey, but that, it's going to be okay. I think, particularly with the outcome card. That's what I'm feeling. Now, in the near future, you have, which is kind of interesting, because the Wheel of Fortune has been blocking you right now. But even as you come out of this cycle, there's still going to be a moment of waiting. This is waiting. I'm trying to see if I can get a bead on why it is you might be waiting. And I think it has to do with this Justice card. So perhaps there is some legal issue or some type of snafu decision. And again, this is your reading, because I say that because of the scales here, Justice, and that represents the Libra. I think perhaps maybe that there might be some type of paperwork or approval or, documentation, because that's what pages are. Pages bring news. So maybe there's something you're going to have to wait for. Perhaps if you're applying for a new job, or you have already applied and you haven't heard anything back, you're going to have to wait a period for that to hear back. So don't give up. This says to me that you will indeed get your decision rendered. If it's a legal issue, you will indeed hear back from, if you've applied for a job and you haven't heard back just yet, that you will hear back from them. It's just, you're going to have to wait until this decision is made, okay? In the environment around you, once this decision comes down, it's going to open up a whole new world in terms of finances for you. Financial, again, this is a knight. Whatever this is, it's going to be steady work. It's going to be a slow slog to get to where you want to be, perhaps financially. You could already be, I don't see that you're in a really stable financial place, but that doesn't mean you're not. Just know that you're going to have to work hard at it. Be dependable, be steady, be in it for the long haul. Again, sort of like this, but it's not going to be a burden this time. What I find to be interesting is this Three of Swords. Now, this card is about loss, sorrow, heartache, and I think your fear is that if you are waiting to hear back from about a position, you fear that maybe you haven't been chosen for it, or you won't get it because it's been, some delay on getting word back from whomever you're waiting word on it. Even if it's a legal issue, you've been waiting, and your fear is that, it's not going to come out in your favor. Don't fear, because the Magician is here. And the Magician speaks to manifestation. If you look at the card, he's got, he's got a wand, he's got a cup, he's got a sword, he's got a pentacle. So this guy's got all of the knowledge, the skill, and the know-how to get that job done, whatever that job is that you're waiting for, you're wanting for. Maybe it's your dream job, your dream position. Maybe it's that promotion. Don't worry, don't fear, don't have any doubt that you won't be able to perform well and do well and make it a great success. And if you're waiting, I know waiting can be very tough. Just, keep the faith. As above, so below. Remain positive. I know it can be hard when you're waiting. And work on your manifestation skills. The overall reading, energy of the reading, is the Two of Cups. Now, this is a card about balance, union, cooperation, contracts, marriages. So if this is about a job or an employment situation, it's all going to come out right, and you're going to be extremely effective at what you do, very good at what you do, and I think you're going to be very happy with your choice of putting in your application and sending in your resume. So I kind of wouldn't worry about it. It's just the waiting period. It's difficult and long, I know. Now, I'm not really reading this as a love reading, but I'm gonna read the cards and see what I can get out of it in case it is some messages about romance in this reading. Let me take a look. Now, if this is a romantic situation, you have been going through some trials and tribulations. That we can see. You're kind of been feeling like, oh, woe is me, why me, why me? But it's just forces beyond your control. Stick with it a little bit longer. It's going to change. I don't know if you can see in the four corners of the cards, you have the time of Taurus, which is past. We're just now coming out of the time of Leo, and we're going to be going into Scorpio pretty soon. So it may take until October or November for this wheel to fully turn. It is a 10, and this is a 10. So if you've been feeling blocked or stagnant, these two cards are letting you know that this cycle is almost over. Okay? So, kind of hang in there a little bit. Underwriting this reading, again, I think that perhaps if this is a relationship reading, you have felt as though maybe you've been doing all of the work, and that everybody else is just kind of standing around watching. Kind of like those guys who got those city jobs where you drive down the street and they've got half the road blocked off, and there's one guy digging a hole and 10 guys standing around him. Well, maybe that's what it is. And, you know, because this is a 3 card, you know, maybe this situation hasn't been going on very long, but it kind of got, I don't know, it started to get on your nerves very quickly. It could even be maybe a live-in or marriage situation. I don't see any children in this reading, so perhaps you know, have gotten married, you've been married maybe a little while, you haven't had kids yet, but you're finding out that maybe the partner that you married is not the person for you. Um, and you feel like you have to be the leader all the time. Again, it has to do with decisions. Two cards. This was a choice that you made. It was a decision and a choice that you made. I believe that there are still some feelings there, but you know, sometimes things just don't work out the way that we would like them to. So if this has to do with a split or separation, I think that you guys will remain friends, at least civil to one another. And that's always a good thing. It makes, you know, the breaking up or the leaving not so acrimonious. Know that you will have to wait. Maybe you're going to have to wait to, you know, make that decision or make your move. Perhaps you have to wait on some money to come in to do what you need to do. That decision is going to come in some way, shape, or form. And typically with this card and this card, it can speak to divorce together. So you might be waiting on your divorce, your final divorce papers to come in. With the Magician, everything is going to be just as it's supposed to be. Backed up by the turn of events with the turn of the Wheel of Fortune. And I think all in all, even though this may not have been the best situation for you, I don't think that it was a very hostile kind of relationship. Maybe it just didn't have the oomph or the passion. Maybe the passion went away. Maybe one of you was working all the time. Maybe the other one felt, you know, like they were having to carry the load all the time and be the leader. And perhaps that's the reason why maybe the relationship did not work out. I would not really worry about it too much. I can say that. I've been through a divorce, and I'm going to tell you it's really not a fun thing, and mine was not an easy divorce to go through. You know, and for me, the way I handled it was I just, you know, I made the decision that I didn't even want anything. We didn't have any kids, and I just wanted to not be married anymore. And so I made the decision to just walk away with nothing. It was easier for me that way. You know, each person's different. I understand that. You know, but that's something personal to you that you're going to have to see what's happening. I don't see a new love coming in right now. This is your hopes and fears. So perhaps you do fear that, you know, of course, if it's a split or a separation, there's going to be hurt feelings and sorrows. Even if it's still not the best relationship, you don't spend time with someone and get to know them and not develop some type of feelings for them. And perhaps you feel that once it's over, you may not be able to find another person to come into your life. You will be able to manifest that. You're just going to have to go through a waiting period of letting your emotions heal. And I say that because this card came up underneath the Two of Cups. I wasn't going to pull another card, but I happened to see this one here. So to me, this is a continuation. You know, give yourself time to let your emotions heal. You know, if it's just you're splitting up, you know, and you could be splitting up because, you know, your work may be taking you someplace. It may not even really be a divorce. You may have to separate because your work is taking you away from that person, and that's bringing you some sorrow and some heartache. So, you know, just try to heal your emotions and know that, you know, it's all going to work out right. You know, everything's going to fall into place just as it should be. You know, I really don't see any negative cards here. My friend, the Four of Cups, didn't come out, and Hold on. I see something. I see something. Now, we have 2 3s here. And this can sometimes indicate a third party in the picture. So if there is a third party in the picture, you found out that, you know, your mate or your partner wasn't being true to you, this could, you know, very well be leading to a separation or a divorce. With that Justice card there. So justice is coming in to make sure that, you know, liars and cheaters and stealers will get their due, and the people who've been doing the good stuff, the karma is going to come back around, and whoever was doing ugly things, their karma's going to get them, and whoever was doing the right good things, their karma's going to turn for them. So there's a turn, a good turn, something good is coming. You know, just wait. And I say that because we not only have 2 3s, but we also have 2 2s, okay? And this is, if we're looking at it from a love aspect, this didn't come out in the outcome, it didn't come out in the environment around you, but eventually at some point, I think you're going to be able to find what you're looking for. I can't tell you when. The cards don't show that. But, you know, have faith and hope. This is news, and it can also suggest that there is a new lover coming on the horizon. I'm not going to ascribe this person to being particularly a water sign, but although this is a water sign card, but it could simply be someone who is very emotional and is willing to share their emotions with you and provide you with the emotional support perhaps that you may be lacking. You will have to wait for this person. But this is a force that's unknown right now. It's just an energy that's unknown, and, you know, we don't know anything about it. It hasn't come into play yet. So, you know, keep your eye out on the horizon. You know, heal your emotions and do your manifestations. Do your manifestations. Now, let's see what the oracle cards have to say. I think that's interesting. You had 2 3s, 2 2s, and 2. So something is ending and something will be beginning. Okay? Either work or career. Whatever it is, it's going to be something new. It's going to be stable, and it is going to be dependable. Okay? Now, the timing in the tarot is relative. You know, it could be 2 weeks from now, it could be 2 years from now. But the key is to work on yourself and do your own manifestation and heal your emotions. That comes down to even if you don't get the job, you know, or the job, you know, if there's some disappointment, that's what I'm trying to say. If there ends up being some type of disappointment in any situation, you know, try to take it in stride and heal your emotions. Interesting. That fell out of the deck. That's the lead card. That is the Emperor in the Rider-Waite deck. Now, the Emperor is the archetype of the father. So even if you're a female, you can embody the energy of the Emperor, because the Emperor is someone who's rational, who is logical, who thinks things through very carefully. He is also a compassionate person, but that's not something that I think he shows to everybody. The Emperor is the person that wants to take care of everybody. It's authoritative. Let me read to you what the definition from the Heart Oracle says. And this is a major arcana card. And you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You had 4 major arcanas in the reading. The Wheel of Fortune, the Hangman, the Justice, and the Magician. I mean, really, that's an ending and that's a beginning. You know? The 2 10s. endings and beginnings. The 2 twos, something new with the page. And the Knight, who brings news as well. He brings gifts and he brings messages. Let's see what the book says about this card in the Heart Oracle deck. Perhaps there can be some messages here for you. Okay. The key words for this card are guide, prioritize, act, effort, and reason. In matters of the heart, and remember, you can be in love with your job and your work and what you do. So this can apply to both career and to relationship. You're always in a relationship, no matter where you are. When you go out, when you go to the store and you buy a Coke from the person behind the counter, you're in a relationship with that person for as long as it takes to make that transaction. So it's always a relationship. Okay, so it says, in matters of the heart, the energy of this card can both help and hinder. Examine the role that you play in your relationships. Do you take the lead and guide the direction of the relationship, or do you follow the other person? Remember, I was speaking about perhaps you felt like you had to take the lead all the time and that this has become burdensome and tiresome to you. If you lead, are you forcing your will on the other person? If you follow, are your own needs being met? A solid relationship involves give and take, lead and follow. There has to be an even exchange of energy. This is true for all relationships. This card reminds you to guide, not dominate. Okay, and that could be why this card has come up. Things were not fairly balanced in whatever this relationship is, and that balance is about to come forth, whether you want it to or not. And there will be some hurt feelings and disappointment and sorrows with it. Okay. But that, you know, this is the overall reading. It's going to come right. So let's see. This card focuses on the intellectual rather than the emotional side of relationships. Remember I said that maybe this person who might come in is going to be the kind of person that is going to give you the emotional support that you need. Okay. How is this relationship serving those involved? If a relationship is to be healthy and strong, everyone's needs must be met. There has to be sufficient structure and order so that each person knows the boundaries. Each person must make the relationship a priority and put effort into making it strong. And finally, the decisions made in and about the relationship must be based on sound reasoning rather than pure ego. If you're looking for a romantic relationship, are you actively searching, or are you hoping someone will simply show up in your life? This is a card of action, of being proactive, not reactive. Take the lead, network, make yourself available. So if this comes down to in the hopes and fears, perhaps you don't end up splitting up person or leaving this job where you feel like nobody's appreciating you. This card is telling you to, you know, be reasonable, be logical, and, you know, to just kind of speak up and stand up for yourself and, you know, assert your boundaries. Because if it's making you feel burdened and tired and overworked and, you know, just like, I can't do this anymore, you know, then speak up for yourself. Okay? I want to see if there's any more messages. Last thing, if this does involve a third person in a relationship, again, we're speaking of boundaries here. And, you know, whatever the situation is, you have more power than you realize, than you know. The Magician with the Emperor. Okay, so that's my reading for Libra. Again, if this message did not resonate, check back for your moon and rising signs. And if you think you'd like a personal reading with me, you can reach me at HiddenLotusTarot@gmail.com. Until next time, be good to yourselves. Namaste, travelers.